Peace and blessings. Namaste to all light warriors, workers, and everything in between. It is I, Sophie, today. Yes, I'm off today. And this is an introductory course to warrior goddess training. Okay. And today I simply want to deal with sound. Okay. Now, the reason why I want to deal with sound, because to the divine feminine, the most powerful tool that you have for manifesting is going to reside in your throat and your heart. All right. It is our speech that gives ear to the divine, because we are the softer nature of the all. All right. So if we consider the term Ein Sof, EIN-SOPH, Sof, SOPH, Sophia, that's the wisdom side. Okay. So you have your knowledge and your wisdom that is coexisting at the same time, that can manifest in different emanations. All right. But with the Sof, with the Sophia, with the divine feminine, we use our voices when we're trying to manifest. And before we get to do that, we have to make sure that it is aligned with our heart. So when we speak from our passion, when we speak from a place of concern, a place of pure, unadulterated love, a place of beauty, splendor, and wisdom, it sends a resonance out into the atmosphere. You will always have the ear of the divine, because you are the softer side of the divine. Do you understand? Okay. Now, it's different when it's time for warfare. Okay. In meditation, when we sit still in our ohms and we're quiet, that is when we are trying to hear from the divine. That quietness, we're downloading information. But when we're trying to manifest and get the divine to hear us, it has to be done through the throat and the heart chakra. All right. I want y'all to recall, for those of you who were former Christians or Bible students, or still even Christians, you know, if this is your faith, if you understand your Bible, there was a time where the men, the Hebrew men, had to march around the walls of Jericho, which was a huge city full of giants, Nephilim. Okay. And the Lord was with them at the time and told them they didn't have to fight. Just march around it 7 times. And then at the count of the 7th, you're going to yell. And when you yell, the walls of this great city was going to come tumbling down. Now, that is dealing with vibration. Ever hear an opera singer start to sing, hit very high notes, and a glass shatter? When we're dealing with vibration, we're dealing in the world of matter. Okay, so what ends up happening is our heart and our throat chakra sends out a certain frequency that also resonates a vibration around you. Okay, this vibration is enough to shake, because it's pure energy and it's powerful. All right. So when we as divine feminine are trying to manifest anything, or even when we're going into warfare, or if we just simply want to get the ear of the divine, we use our throat and our heart, because the purer the intent, the easier it is to get it across. And I'm going to share a little secret with you. Divine feminine, you have the ear of the divine a lot easier, because you are and represent the softer nature of the divine. All right. So your tears are powerful. Your voice, your yelling is powerful. Your singing is powerful. Your affirmations are powerful. But when it's done in its purest intention, you draw the divine right to you. Okay. There's a reason why women cry and wail, especially our ancestors, when there was deaths, when there were ceremonies being done. The women would always, do you understand? We would do that, okay? Or some would just simply yell. Some would wail and cry and scream, okay? That's that passion, that energy, that raw energy and motion that is carried by the divine feminine. It gets to the ear of the divine like this. There's a soft spot for you, ladies. Learn to use it, okay? Now, when we're talking about the throat, we want to deal with a resonance, okay, that helps calm the body. Sometimes we do this in an ohm or an an or like a didgeridoo sound, I'll just go ahead and demonstrate to you. So if I want to get into manifesting and I'm preparing this in my meditation, I could sit and do this. I also could sit and do this. Or I could do this. All right? Okay, that gets me centered. That can get you centered. And you'd be surprised if a warring tongue starts to manifest, okay? Now, when we're talking about a warring tongue, we're not really talking about the blessings and praying and asking. It's about knowing who you are, connecting with the divine, and knowing that the divine hears you, and being bold, okay, when you're addressing the divine, okay? Because you are identified as a daughter, okay, or you are identifying as part of the family unit. So you may or may not, depending on your comfort level, okay, have to go like this, all right? Because I've been working with the divine for so long, they are family to me. I am a daughter of the Most High, and so are you, right? And because that nature, that God nature resides in with us, that we talk to them, okay? We talk to them. We come across humble, and then we are bold with our speech. We're bold with our speech and what we want to see manifested, and we start to reason. It's not about religion. It's about developing this relationship with the divine. They need to know your name. And the reason why this is important is because for those of you who go into spiritual warfare, this could go left very, very quickly if you're not known in the spiritual realms. Now, there was another teaching, that was in our Bibles, and they were talking about Yeshua and how he was going around doing all of these miracles everywhere. Okay, and some of the people that was watching him was trying to duplicate what he was doing, and they went out to cities and they was laying hands on people, and these demons was whipping their tail, and they came back and said it didn't work. Okay, and one of the demons told them, Paul and Peter, I know, but who are you? It is important that you are known in that spiritual realm, because there's a certain level of respect that comes along with that. If I go to do a house cleaning, okay, or if I'm dealing with a negative spirit or a negative entity within somebody, that spirit recognizes who I am when I come there, because I've been doing it a very long time. And there's a certain level of fearlessness that comes to you when you are embodying Christ. Do you understand? They feared him. They can fear you too. So we have no fear over negative forces, of demons, or whatever it is that you want to call it. We don't have fear for that, because we understand the divine protection is within, that's radiating outward. When we sit into our meditations, okay, and we're getting ready to speak an affirmation or going to a warring tongue, a lot of times I like to sit with the yoni pose. That's this. And you want to, I'm sorry, I can't show you. But you want to have your back erect, your legs slightly open. This sits like this right in front of the womb. When I'm doing that, I am trying to pull creative energy into my body to manifest. Well, it has to pass the test here. The heart has to resonate and pass the test here, and then it comes out in the speech. Okay, so we want to sit like this, but down here, okay, you do your breath work, and then you can start to do your tones to get toned up. Or all right? To the divine intellect of the universe, we give thanks. Okay? That's how I typically start off any of my prayers. All right? And then I will go through the list of every being of unconditional love and light who are here to assist us on this evolutionary journey. Okay? So I go through blessing the angels, blessing the star seeds, blessing the ascended masters, blessing the master teachers, blessing all beings of unconditional love and light who are here for service. All right. I typically go divine intellect of the universe, Jesus Christ, Sophia Christ, angels, archangels, angels, ascended masters, master teachers. Now, this is not in any particular order. Sometimes I can mix them up. It just depends on how I am flowing, okay? But that's how I start off my prayers. Then I will get into my stillness. My mudras will then start to manifest, all right? So you will see, the people that come to our meditation groups will see that sometimes as I'm sitting, I might start. Do you understand? We're going into warfare. Ether. Yeah? This is an ether one. Okay? So if I'm projecting something from within out, I can push it. If your tongue starts to develop into a warring tongue, and the only time that this typically happens is to make sure that your mind and body and heart is in alignment. So while we are in our meditations, okay, if you're going to be quiet, if you're going to do a chin, if you're going to do a goddess, if you're going to do a yoni, okay, if you're going to do a light, this is my favorite because I created this for me. But this is my favorite here, and if I want to sit like this, and if I want to go, and I'm in that still point, okay, still point. But while I'm in that still point, I'm processing warfare, okay? I'm processing what it is that I'm trying to get done. I'm visualizing it here while I'm doing that, okay? So I'm visualizing the change. I'm visualizing the movement. I'm visualizing the freedom. I'm visualizing more love or more light that is coming in here, okay? And while I am visualizing this, oftentimes a warring tongue might manifest, okay? So let me see if I can demonstrate. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Kiondo hora he siete de rondo wotu kunala baidashi esedekianda de rokolowi osuntu ababai ekasishe. Okay, so that's the beginning of a warring light language for me. I know it's a warring light language because I'm conscious of what it is that my spirit is trying to convey. All right, so it comes across in my expression, it comes across in my tone because I'm pushing out power while I'm doing this. The more people that you have with you, the stronger the power is, the bigger the vibration, and then the walls come down. Okay? But you have to be bold enough to go before the throne or bold enough to go before the Creator saying, I am here. Okay? And if you are a divine feminine, you don't have to do it just in that way as well. That's for the warring divine feminine, okay? There's another tactic that works with the divine as well. And I told you this before. It's your tears. It's your wailing. It's your heart. It's your, you know what I mean? When you express that, all right? What you're doing is tapping into that soft heart part of the divine. Let me tell you another little secret. Divine masculines, okay, divine Elohim, our ancestors, those who have already transitioned, those who are male, they can't stand to see you cry. It bothers them. Part of their nature, okay, and the difference between our two is this part of the masculine nature is very protective, okay? That's why he's made physically stronger, even if you might be spiritually stronger. All right? But this is the balance of power here, because we are meant to complement one another. So even if, excuse me, when you are upset, when your heart cries out for an injustice, okay, and the tears fall, and you look to the divine, you're going to get the attention. So for those of us who don't want to war, that's another method as well, okay? Let it flow and release it, okay? Your tears are powerful. Yeah, they are. Your heart speaks volume. The divine feminine is pure energy in motion. The divine masculine taps into that. And we are grateful in this day and age that a lot of our divine masculines are starting to explore and tap into some of the feminine aspects of the divine as well. Okay, we don't want to lose them completely to them, because we still need that balance, but they're starting to identify with the feminine nature of things. So you are seeing a lot of our divine masculines being softer or listening more. And you'll notice that even in your own relationships, when you start crying, he's like, oh my God, how do I make it stop? Because it's a certain power that comes along with it that makes them feel helpless or vulnerable, or that needs to protect you, need to answer you. Our great father and mother are the exact same way. Okay, so some of us are going to go into this prepared. Okay, we're going to write down what it is that we're going to manifest. We're going to stop all of this. We're going to sit in our meditative groups, and we're going to start speaking. Put your fingers here when you're doing your ohms. See how it feels when it vibrates. That's vibration. Do you see what I'm saying? Energy, frequency, vibration equals power. That's the introductory course. And that's all I have to say right now. I will catch up with you a little bit later. We'll keep going through. We'll keep going through it, because we want to get prepared. And we want to do these warrings or these healings, depending on if you're light warrior or light worker, two different worlds, okay? If you're a light worker, you can do the tears, you can do the wailing, you can do the peace, you can do the healing, you can do the quiet to cover us. But if you're a light warrior, prepare for the power to come, because we have partnered with the divine who are on your side about the situation and all the mess that is going on here. And when you raise your voice and your frequency hits the ether, they meet you where you are. You have the ear. Do not forget your power. Throat, heart, manifest. All right? We pray and then we speak words to power. All right? And when you have the ear of the divine on your side, they will partner with you and you will get it done. All right? Because you've got that energy here with you. So we're carrying Christ. We are carrying Yeshua. We become like him. A lot of misconceptions about Yeshua is that he, was strictly into Christianity. No. Yeshua is a master teacher. He traveled India. He traveled Thailand. He traveled all around this world. The same thing that we are charged to do, pulling divine information that was right and throwing out the rest of it and bringing forth correct teaching. But he was fluent in everything. Okay, he had to learn everything. All right, because when you become an ascended master, that's what you need to know what your enemy does. You need to know what the light does. You need to know what all spiritual practices encompass. All right, because you're going to have to teach people from different walks of life. This is the reason why he was able to travel and become one of the biggest master teachers on this earth. He never limited himself. And he grew all the time with more understanding. I told you before, never, ever, 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 ever be afraid to submit to a higher truth. It might save your life one day. If the things that you thought were true and somebody brings something, if the ego don't like it, just let it marinate. Don't dismiss it right then. Store it. So when we walk like him, we start to understand and identify with various ways and various walks of life. Okay, and then we bring them into a higher divine understanding. That's what we are here to do. Okay? Those of you who have been called to teach, we are teaching. But right now, we need to get some things shook up before this equinox. This equinox is a very powerful one that is coming through. Okay, so we want to lay the plans and the foundations through our meditations, through our affirmations, through our prayers, however you feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable doing affirmations and speaking boldly at this time in your walk, it's understandable. Then go humbly. Okay? But as long as it's here, and this part is righteous, you will be heard. So if you're going to go humbly with tears and receiving, beautiful. If you're going to go boldly, like the lioness, and say, this, that, and the third needs to change, and here is why. Understand, when we're dealing with the divine, you can't approach them with a selfish motivation. They will not answer you, okay? Because everything is looked at through the purest of intention. When you go to the divine, make it logical. Let it make sense. Let it make sense. Okay? Let it become authentic. And make sure that you're coming from a place of selflessness. All right? So, you don't want to go to the divine saying, we want to go ahead and get this done so I don't have to drive, or I just want to stay home. I want to stay home and I want to do my own thing. So let the whole thing crash. No, we keep in mind others, okay? Because we're in here as a collective. We're in here as a group. Okay, so just because I'm doing okay and my sister or my brother is struggling, I'm not okay. Do you understand? I'm not okay when another one is struggling. Yes, there's going to be people that you can't reach. Even with the people that you can't reach, hold space for them here and here. You never know when the tides turn. Some people have to walk out karmic lessons, but they still come. And when they come back, they remember you. Do you understand? Because you stood there and you helped them. We do it through our tears. We do it through our voice. We sing. Yeah. We yell. Yeah. We speak our affirmations. And we do it boldly. That's all I have for now. I am Sophie, and I love you all.